Hey, what's up, you guys, and welcome to another episode of The Stub Show. I thank you guys for joining me for another episode on today, and I hope that you had a fabulous day. It's Monday, it's a new start of the week. So, listen, if you need to start over this week, if you need to let go of anything from last week, this is the day, Monday, to kick off those new goals, those new visions, and those new ideas. But yeah, I thank you guys for joining me here for another episode. And on today's show, we are going to just go through and run back some of the interviews that we previously had on the Stub Show. You may see some guests from 2 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe even 6 years ago. But we are going to go through the journey and just bring you a few clips of our previous episodes. So listen, you know what to do. Right now is that time to do it. Like it, share it, and then keep watching so that you can comment on the segments or episodes that you see. So let's get ready to kick this show off. All right, you guys, welcome to another episode of The Stub Show. All right, you guys, I hope you went ahead, liked, or if you're on YouTube, subscribe to the page, and then also share this live so that other people can come on and watch. This clip that we're getting ready to get into is with my special guest, Bomani Perkins, and he's talking about alcohol addiction and rock bottom. I think you guys are going to enjoy this. So let's get into this first clip. Get straight into it. I met him through Facebook. He had a picture up of him sleeping on the ground. That picture is now showing for you guys to see. And he was down right there, but he's celebrating 6 years this year.
On sobriety, yeah.
6 years of sobriety. So take us back to the day of this picture.
So that picture, so I started my journey of sobriety May 23rd, 2016. So that actual picture, and I'm mad I didn't bring it with me.
That's okay. It's showing on the video.
But the actual picture was 11 days before I started my journey. So that made it the 12th of May 2016. And that particular picture, I was caught, I wasn't in my right mind state at the time, someone captured that moment, and I didn't see that picture until a year after I was sober. Somebody pointed it out to me that, man, it was a picture of you on Facebook, and when I seen it, it was the first time I ever seen myself when I was in my mess like that, and I automatically just wanted the picture because I felt like I needed that picture in my life, and it was definitely, which I call today my gratitude picture, because it helps me remember where I came from and what could happen if I decided to take the same path back again. So, and also I like using that picture to help other people too, because like you said, I don't look like what I went through. So a lot of people see me today, and everyone has a story, and I feel like my purpose today is to help people before they get to that particular point. Everybody rock bottom is different. The topic of our discussion today, that was my rock bottom. But
How long had you been, okay, before I go there, the picture is of you laying on the ground and you said you were sleeping.
Yeah.
And I'm glad someone captured that because now the testimonies are coming from that. But what led you to that rock bottom?
So I like to say a lot of bad decisions, first and foremost. A lot of substance abuse, And basically, I want to use those two things as the foundation of what led me to where I was at in that picture. It's crazy because in 2011, I lost my mom in 2011. And at that time, I was at home with my kids and their mom. I was the head of the household. I was the provider. You know, I was the king. But when my mom passed, I didn't know how to cope.
About how old were you?
2011.
Which is
why you make me do this?
10 years from now.
Yeah, so I was around 27.
Okay, so
No, 37.
you okay?
37.
So
yeah,
you were
around
used to
37.
having her in your
36.
life.
Yeah. So, you know, like any other mom, you know, just the way I dealt with it at that particular time, as I look back now, it wasn't productive to a productive life.
So was that the thing that started the downfall?
Yeah,
that?
I made a decision, you know. I got laid off from my job. I was making good money too. And instead of me getting back in line to get back to work, you know, I remember telling my kid's mom at the moment that, you know, it's time for you to go to work now because I was taking care of everything. She was at home, taking care of our infant kids and stuff. So
which is a hell of a job, but go ahead.
So I told her that, you know, it's time for you to go to work and I'm gonna be the stay-home dad. You know, I just wanted to escape for a minute. And I remember I cleaned out all my expenses, accounts and stuff, as far as my 401k, and paid all my debts and stuff like that. And the money that I had left over, I decided that, you know, I'm gonna run back to the streets and try to, you know, flip the money and stuff like that. That was the extent of my thinking at that time. You know, even though I was a hardworking brother at the time and stuff like that, but I was still street oriented.
Looking for a quick way out.
I mean, anytime, you know, the stuff hit the fan, I would always run to the streets. Okay. That's what I did at that moment. And I was mourning and stressing over the loss of my mom. And basically, I ran back to the streets. And, you know, the streets helped me out the best way they could help me out. And that was in 2011. After me making that decision, a month later, you know, my kid's mom asked me to leave the house because she didn't want to be part of nobody, you know, dealing with drugs or anything like that. And I left the household, ended up staying with my sister at the time. And that's when the ball started rolling downhill because I was on the streets every day. I didn't, no type of thinking about going back to work, you know. I was still taking care of my kids the best way I could. But in 2013, another close friend of mine passed away too. And that was, if I had my hand on any type of will at that moment, I just let go.
You gave in.
And whatever, anything I was doing for substance abuse or alcohol or anything like that, I just turned it all the way up. And I just didn't really care anymore. You know, I just, you know, that just sped up the ball rolling downhill. That's, you know.
That was the start of the fall to go to the bottom.
Yeah.
You know, people always, you know, think that it couldn't be them or wouldn't be them, but it could be them at any moment. And you got to a point where you just said, I don't care. So is that when you started doing the substance abuse to numb the pain?
That was the only thing I thought at that time could help me. You know, growing up in the type of environment I grew up in, and some of us probably grew up into, you know, that's how we dealt with stuff. Not that we needed a reason to to dabble in any type of substance abuse, but when tragic things like that happen, that's how we dealt with it, you know, and that's what happened. I thought that would help me ease the pain and the hurt.
And it did to an extent, but
it definitely numbed it. It numbs it for a moment, but what it don't do is erases it, you know. And
you always have.
I did not know until I started my journey in sobriety that I numbed it, but I was never dealing with it. I never faced it head on.
Okay. Hold on, you guys. We getting ready to take a quick break here on the Stub Show, and we're going to be back to.
Is it time to get your fluffy, scruffy pet's hair done? Look no further. Pooch Styles Pet Grooming, in operation for 14 years in the Forestville, Maryland area, is ready to serve you. Give us a call at 301-456-7081. 301-456-7081. We're looking forward to servicing you and your furry loved one.
Hello, this is PW Wedding Officiant. Let's make it official. Contact us today. Today. Contact us today.
All right, you guys, welcome back to the Stub Show. I hope you enjoyed that brief break. Remember, if you have a commercial that you would like to be played within our shows, then you can just send us a message or email us at thelofnetwork@gmail.com. Today's episode is all about our journey. We are going through some of our previous interviews and sharing them with you. On this next clip, I am sitting and talking with Cam Knight, and we are discussing failure and success. Let's get into it.
Commercial back in the 90s where Michael Jordan was talking about how he's missed X number of shots, he's let go of X number of plays and all these failures. And then at the end, he says, and that's why I succeed. So know that the failure is part of the game. We really can't avoid it. Even some of the most successful people have failed, and miserably. So it's better to just kind of accept that that's going to happen. And the other part is to understand that, or to understand why we might fear failure or want to avoid it. It really comes down to pain. So the brain can release some really difficult to sit with emotions when we make a mistake or when we fail. And if that's not bad enough, those feelings linger, not just for a few minutes or even a few hours, but for a few days, weeks, sometimes months. And if that's not bad enough, the mistake or failure can trigger other mistakes and failures we've made, and those feelings can compound. And if that's not bad enough, for some people, making a small failure or mistake can trigger that cycle. And if that's not bad enough, the way some people's brains are wired, even if a person doesn't make a mistake or failure and their brain perceives it, it'll trigger that entire cycle. So what I'm trying to get at is certain people are just more sensitive to mistakes and failures. And so their brain releases a lot more or more difficult to sit with feelings. And when we look at people who don't have that, they can make a lot of mistakes and failures, but they're not affected by it. So two people can make the same decisions, make the same mistakes, but one can really get derailed just because of how much emotions or negative feelings their brain will release. So how do we help those people who are more sensitive? Is to realize that majority of our mistakes and failure isn't actually to the mistake or failure, but how we'll feel about it. And the good news is, majority of our mistakes and failures isn't to the mistake or failure, but how we will feel about it. So if we can realize what we're really fearing is just some brain chemicals, that can be a good way to logically move past some of the challenges that failure brings. So to summarize, 2 ways that we can reframe failure. One is to understand we're going to fail, and it doesn't mean that we're less or less successful than somebody who didn't fail. And the other is that what we're really fearing is really some brain chemicals. And if we can accept that, it can make it easier to move forward.
Okay, so as you can see, you need to have those hiccups and those things that you may or other people may look at as failures to get to success. So if you've fallen a few times, just get back up and get to going. All it's doing is making you stronger for the journey ahead. All right, this next clip that we're getting into is all about relationships. My question for my next guest is, should a man know if he wants to marry you or not within 6 months? Let's get into it. So the saying is that a man should know if he wants to marry a woman within 6 months of dating her. What is your opinion or response to that?
You know what? That's a great question. I actually agree with that, because I think a man knows even before 6 months if he wants to marry you. He knows. It doesn't take a man long. And men are very they're very quick learners, and they're very intuitive. They know what they want. They know how they want it, when they want it. And if it's you, they know it. If you allow them to string you along, if you allow them to not define the relationship, if you allow that, they're gonna just let you. They're just gonna let it go. But definitely, I think a man knows. I think he knows even within 2 or 3 months if this is a woman that he wants to marry. He knows if you are marriage material for him. He knows that. Yes, I agree with that.
Okay, that's what they're saying. And so what about after the engagement, after he put a ring on it? Because everybody like he put a ring on it. How long should it be?
All the single ladies. Yay.
Yeah. So after about 2 or 3 years, some people have been engaged for longer than 5 years. What do you say to that woman?
Every situation is different, so I don't want to judge a situation. I just feel like if a man wants to marry you, it doesn't take 5 years. It doesn't take 7 years. It doesn't take 10 years. Again, right. If you allow it, they'll go with it.
Miss Burton was not playing with them fellas. She let y'all men know it do not take that long for you to decide if that woman is your wife or not. And ladies, you heard what she said. The men gonna do what you allow. So if you want to sit around and be engaged for all these years and still thinking that it's gonna happen, sometimes it do. But that's your time, so that's all on you. But let's see what the fellas have to say. I had the men on to let you single women know what you shouldn't do on a first date. So let's get into that conversation next. So, Coach Andre, tell single women 2 things that they should not do while on a first date. I think I got a couple of them from Facebook. I need to go on my Facebook post. Y'all fellas was going off.
2 things they should not do. Fart? No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, but what if she do? It's like, no.
No, I'm just kidding.
It's a bit much.
2 things you should not do on the first date. Put it all out there.
What does that mean?
So
wait a minute. I heard some people say they put it all out there and they got married. Dwayne face look like, hold on, he wanted on the table.
Not all of it. I mean, there's certain things that I should not know on the first date. You know, you want to ease your way. Anything. Let me get to know you based on what I see so far. You can say, I'm not saying it has to say completely surface, but we don't have to know everyone. I don't know. You need to know your past traumas either. You see what I'm saying? Let me get to know the person that you are, your individual first, who you are right now, before we get too deep into your past traumas and things like that. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, that was one. Go ahead. We're gonna bounce off each other. You give one, Dwayne, then we're gonna go back to him to give one.
I've heard it said that when men meet women, the women choose us, and I'll agree to that. That's cool. But on our first date, I'm making the impression. You don't have to make the impression. I'm making the impression. Let me dictate how the date goes, you know, because 9 times out of 10, if I'm interested in going out with you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask what you're interested in, and then I'm going to formulate the date around those things. So don't dictate to me what we're going to do or how we're even going to do it. You know, this masculine energy is real. Like when you're in my presence, you're going to get this masculine energy. So.
Oh, I thought you were saying women with masculine energy. A lot of us got that too.
So when you feel it, absorb it, allow it to soak in, and just sit back and enjoy the ride. And a lot of times you don't get that. You don't get that out of women. Oh, I want to go here. Nah, let me handle this.
And I think a lot of women are like that maybe because of daddy. They have a lack of daddy. But then we got 50-year-old women acting the same way. But go ahead, Bart. Go ahead. We're gonna get into your second one, then your second, then we're gonna take a quick break. Ladies, y'all, I'm trying to go on Instagram for you guys to see the questions. If I don't go on Facebook, they coming through on Facebook. I see y'all on YouTube too. Andre, what's the second one that you want to say?
So a few years ago, I came across this post, and it was a photo. And the photo was a young lady, and she was wearing her wedding gown, and she had a bouquet in her hand. And under the post, it said, "How women over 35 date." And
okay, explain it for the slow people. I got it. I got it. Oh, 2 seconds later.
Instantly, I understood, because I meet people, and they have wedding breath all over the conversation. You know, it's like almost like an interrogation. They're so quick. They're asking these direct questions, trying to find out where you are, who you are. Are we going all the way? What are you looking for? Relax. Because one thing that I've learned is you don't know why a person's in your life.
Yeah.
And just because you and that person may not be a good fit to work romantically doesn't mean that that person can't be a blessing to your life in other ways, and vice versa. So relax, be patient, and I'm not saying go with the flow. No, you still want to have intentions and move, but relax.
I want to reiterate that point because that's so important.
Hold on, I want to add in really quick before you do. The marriage planning mogul said there are quality women and men out here, but maturity matters the most. Okay, come on. What's your part two? I had to jump on Instagram for you guys, so you think I see y'all have a lot of them. I'm gonna come back to them.
I think that's such a great point because a lot of times I know how I do. I'm so interested in meeting the woman that I'm out to date with. I'm so interested to know what direction she want to take the friendship or whatever you want to call it. And then
Okay, ladies, so the fellas have spoken. You heard what they said. Those are single men giving single women advice on what to do and what they're looking for. So you can't say that you know what a man is looking for if you aren't listening to what the men are saying. But while we're on the topic of relationships, let's just stay right here on this lane real quick and get into this next clip where this episode is talking about clarity before the relationship. Let's take a look.
My biggest thing is you have to have a list of 100 or more things that you are looking for in another person.
100?
100. And here's the reason. Again, science and math. You will be lucky if you find 10 to 15%, 20 tops of what you're looking for in a person. And I have had women that have come in and they're just like, well, I have my list of 10.
Right.
Cool. You're going to get 1.
Mm.
I'm like, you're looking at the bottom of the barrel then. And some of it's like reality. I'm like, you deserve more. Like, we just have to raise the bar. You deserve more. Right now, the big trending thing is the 6-6-6-6.
Okay. Tell us about that.
So the 6 is 6 feet tall. They have to be 6 feet tall. The 6 figures, the 6 inches.
I knew that was one of them.
And the 6-pack. If that's all you're looking for, and at
most, get done with that quick.
You're gonna get 1. I mean, which one are you picking?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, just have some reality. And the reality is, like, men aren't only looking for things in women, and if they are, they're not for you anyhow, because they're not good guys.
Right. And not going to last long. They're going to go and find those 4 things in someone else and keep going and keep going and keep. I need to write 100 things out. I never thought about 100. Let me get out the bottom of the barrel. No, I'm just joking. I'm definitely not in the bottom of the barrel, but I need to write that 100. I just want to see if I can come up with 100 things that I really want in a man. Right. And just know those 100. I mean, I probably can think of 20 off the top, but I need to take it to 100. And I'm going to challenge myself for that and tag you. I'm going to challenge myself and or send it to you.
If you think about it, think about the things that you really love about yourself. And you should be able to come up with 100 things that you really love about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about that, then it's very easy for you to come up with 100 things that you would be looking for in somebody else that complements you.
Okay. So many women want to get into a relationship because they are feeling lonely. Is that a good enough reason to get into a committed relationship? Because some people are like, oh, I'm lonely, or I want somebody to hang out with, or I want companionship. That's not enough.
No, that's codependency, and it's a disease. And that's just a fact. Like, if you think that one person then is going to make you happy, you've put an awful lot of pressure on that one person. That pressure alone, they'll be like, I don't want to have anything to do with this. I'm out. Because it feels very smothering.
Mm-hmm.
But the other part is, like, if you're lonely with yourself, you're disconnected from you. You should always show up and be your best friend.
Yes.
If you are your best friend, you are never lonely. 1. 2, what you put out there into the world is also what you're going to draw in. So if you are this bright, vibrant, like, you're not a lonely person, you're a fun-filled person, you're a vibrant person, you're going to draw that. Like draws in like.
Mm-hmm.
So
and
if you're in a lonely place, you're going to draw in that energy too. And again, like, that's just not healthy for anybody.
And that goes back to the healing piece, like taking time to not be with anyone but yourself, to figure out who you are so that you can get into another good, healthy relationship. Because that's the goal, a healthy relationship. But your relationship can't be healthy with someone else until it's healthy with yourself. Judith said, that is good advice. The sex was so good, I ignored the red flags. The political polarity was.
Woo! Did she say 100? Yes, she did. How many of y'all can or are going to write out that list of 100 things that you are looking for in your partner? Listen, if you complete that list, DM me. I want to see it. I want to see what's on that list that you're actually looking for. That was a great show. I definitely remember that show, Clarity. I was single then, so it was a good show for me. But remember, you guys, you can always go to the YouTube page at The Stub Show. So that you can watch full episodes. Now, in our video section, sometimes it does not include all the recent shows and some of the live shows that we have had in the past. So make sure you click on the tab that says live so that you'll be able to see some of our live sessions. But I'm getting ready to take another quick break, and then we're going to come back and finish this show. I hope that you're enjoying watching some of the previous episodes that we've had and our previous guests, and make sure that you're here every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, you guys, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Get ready, Temple Hill, Maryland, for the 81st anniversary of the Highway QC. Saturday, July 11th at 3 p.m. Doors open at 2. Featuring Doc McKenzie and the Highlights, the Swanee Quintet, Sent by God, the McDuffies, Lil David and the Bells of Joy, DJ Allen and Righteous, the Heavenly Sons, the Soul Messengers, the Jones Singers, the Glory Group, the Singing Angels, Bishop J. Spurlock and TNAD, Lil Sammy and the New Flying Clouds, and Tony's Magnificent Voices, hosted by Gwen Sims and Eric Bossman Graham. This event will be held at the Southern Friendship Baptist Church, 4444 Branch Avenue, Temple Hill, Maryland. Tickets are $40 in advance, $50 at the door, $60 for VIP. Food by Flavors. For more information, contact Lynn Taylor at 202-487-6440. Bossman at 202-999-9488. Jerome Monk at 301-751-2787. Or Geraldine Campbell Mays at 240-579-6448. That's the Highway QC's 81st anniversary. You don't want to miss it.
Sponsorship by Boot Hughes.
Hello, this is Angel Y, owner of Home Helpers of Waldorf, Maryland. Are you in the Southern Maryland region and in need of non-medical in-home care? Well, maybe we can assist you. Some of the services that we provide are assisting with bathing, medication reminders, companion care, and so much more. Check out our website to see all the wonderful ways that we can assist you at www.homehelpershomecareofwaldorfmaryland.com. We also are providers for our veterans. I look forward to hearing from you.
Remember, you guys, I am always looking for book authors to become a guest on our show. Now, this says Instagram Live, but we are now broadcasting on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So make sure that you shoot me an email at thelofnetwork@gmail.com, and you could be my next guest. So sign up today. Don't delay. All right, you guys, let's get back into this show. Today's show is all about the journey of the Stub Show. We are going back and playing clips from some of our previous interviews with special guests from all over the world. Listen, I am so excited about your support, all the new people, and the growth of the Stub Show. The show would not be able to grow without you. So keep continuing to share, like, and comment on the shows because it is helping to reach more people. And if you become a guest, now you can share your interview on the show. But enough about that. Let's get back into some of our wonderful interviews. This next interview is with my boy Simi, and he's talking about how to build wealth. Let's check it out.
So you have to ask yourself, what's the most feasible option? Do I want to lock in a 401k or a group life insurance policy at my job and I keep switching, having to switch? Or why don't I just get one myself that I own so I don't have to ever worry about it? I recommend people just do both. Have one that you own, and then when you get your new job, take advantage of the benefits if you want to, if you can. But always, minimum, have one that you own. Why? Because the one at your job will expire once you either leave or you do get fired or terminated, right? And more importantly, as you continually age, it is more expensive to get insurance coverage. So you want to lock it in for yourself at the youngest age possible when you're the most healthiest, but also have the ability to have your own and opt into the one that your employer offers if you do switch from job to job. Now, if you're talking about a 401k, A 401k is a type of individual retirement account, an IRA. Now, if your employer matches you, great, cool. If you want to take advantage of that, go ahead and take advantage of it. But if you want something proprietary outside of that, an option would be an IUL or a fixed indexed annuity. Most people don't understand is this: when you invest or you save for retirement, the goal is income. People want income in their later years, in their 60s and 70s and 80s for the rest of their life. The problem with a 401k, the problem with the TSP or Roth IRA is it doesn't solve for income for the rest of someone's life. So eventually, when now someone's retired and they're ready to start taking money out of their retirement account, eventually, if they're not careful, the account value will hit what? Zero. It'll run out. Mm-hmm. The only thing that solves for income for life is a pension plan, potentially Social Security. If Social Security is still around, right? They say Social Security might run out.
Right.
But most people, right? But most people don't get pensions anymore. Pensions are down. Most people don't offer pensions. The only
See, I told you guys, I'm going to bring you those shows that matter, that's going to enhance your life and help you to be better. Matter of fact, let's get into a conversation about trauma with Dr. Reynolds. Let's take a look.
How do we get to a position where the trauma is there, but you bring yourself into a position where it's manageable and has to be treated so that you can heal? So I just knew that at some point I was either going to self-destruct or I was going to try to find the avenues in which I could cultivate myself, bring myself into a position and bring myself back to the person who I really was. Because I actually lost myself. And my grandmother used to always say all the time, she said, God will never leave you nor forsake you. And it was those times and those moments where I felt like I had no one to turn to, that I had to turn to him. Sometimes we get forced to turn to God. Even though we know we can go to him, sometimes the situations actually force us and drive us to get to him. So I just used to get on my knees, and for a long time, I prayed, and asked God to heal me, take the alcohol and drug from me, and realized that one day after praying, I woke up and it was gone. I looked in the mirror and I said, no longer will I desire drug or alcohol. And figuratively speaking, it wasn't that quick. I mean, it took a longer time than I had anticipated. And your guest said earlier, she said, God's timing is always the best timing. And we don't understand it, nor did I understand it. But it was not for me to understand in that moment, but to have faith over the fear of self-destruction so that I could get back to who God really made me who I was.
Yeah, you right about that. Listen, it's in its time, and what you say is easier said than done.
Yes.
You say it didn't happen, but so quick, and now you're dealing with other people facing those.
And so what I try to get people to understand is, find out where you are, doing a self-assessment of where you are with your trauma, and to learn effective coping skills. The key is coping skills, because coping skills helps you set up the firewall for peace, and it sets up a platform for you to manage it. And so what happens out of trauma becomes, some people become with the addiction, the mental health is coincided with that, and also the recovery. It's all coincided together. That's why we call it trauma, addiction, mental health, and recovery, because they're all intertwined together. One cannot survive without the other. One has to be treated along with the other.
Now, my next question to you is, are you going to go ahead and tackle those traumas, let go of that grief, attack those addictions? If not, here's another push for you. Let's get into Coach Hicks with Faith Over Fear.
Very difficult and dark medical season. I was literally one day I was away in New York enjoying my birthday on Broadway with family. And the very next day, I remember looking my husband in the face and saying, I feel life leaving my body. I have no idea what has happened, what's wrong with me, but life is leaving my body. Take care of our daughter. And that kicked off literally a year long of medical problems. I went through everything from chronic insomnia, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, just all different types of things that occurred. I ended up in a mental health facility with some treatment for a while. It ended up being my thyroid. But in the middle of all of that, what everyone kept telling me to do was just pray about it. It'll get better. And I was born and raised in the church. That sounded like the right thing to do. Let's just pray about it. This is a spiritual attack. Let's just get on our knees and everything will be fine. But guess what? I prayed about it, but it didn't get better right away. And it wasn't that God didn't want to heal me. It wasn't that he didn't want to do everything that the Bible says he can and will do. The problem was with me. The problem was with me because I was a person, very type A personality, career driven. I felt like I can control this. I can fix this myself. It's on my timeline, not God's. But really what was wrong with me was I was so used to controlling everything, and my faith was not where it needed to be. We say that we believe that God can do all these things, but when he doesn't do it in the way we want, in the time we want, then our faith wanes. It falls back, and then we start trying to do things to control the situation. So God allowed me to sit in that situation for longer than I wanted to so that I could become the coach that's sitting in front of you today.
You said a lot of good things right there, and that's so true, because when we want something, we want it.
Coach Nicole hit the hammer to the nail. You guys know when we want something, we want it. But sometimes we move too fast. And that's why we have to learn how and when to move. This next clip and conversation with Miss Terry Christine is all about following and learning about intuitive energy and healing. Let's take a look.
And so, we'll get to a point where nothing may be working for you, that you're going to a doctor or a therapist, talk therapy, whatever it is that you're doing, and it just can't get to the thing that you're needing the most. I may not be something that you understand, but I can be something that can help you in a profound way. So by being able to let go of some of the judgment you already may have been creating based on what your limiting beliefs are, and being able to be open to try to find an alternative way of being able to heal some of your emotional turmoil, pain, and suffering, is to give something else a try that can lift you, comfort you, and show you another way of seeing things, just by being a little more open to receive. So I wanted to be able to trigger, or to anchor into what you were saying, because yes, everyone has their own beliefs, and I cherish that, I honor that. I'm not trying to alter any form or idea of what people are thinking. But what I'm also saying is that we can see things differently and remove any judgment and before you can decide to try something or take that leap of faith to step into trying to relieve yourself of something that you are truly struggling in. So I wanted to take that opportunity, and I appreciate you giving me that.
Energy is everything. I cannot stress that more than enough. You have to go with the gut, which is your inner spirit, that inner feeling that you get. I hope that you guys have been enjoying the show so far. We are getting ready to take another quick break, and then we'll be right back here on the Stub Show. Don't go anywhere, you guys.
show started.
Unique. Blessing on blessings. I got strength from my God, I no flex. God got me, do I look like I'm stressed? I ain't just slide from different directions. I guess the devil ain't getting the message. Are you wanted? I ain't got no preference. Guess they ain't know we protected. Catch me slip, my God slide. Never man, I'm alive. Rested in peace, my pride died. Like a big God on my side. Who need investment, you got his protection. When you was child, it ain't no neglection. Lost in the wild to give you direction. Remember them days he was building my faith, cause I was just feeling like August. I been been nice, it was cold in the winter. I took the mess on the chill like a winter. Solar on fire, he gave me the ember. Blessed been falling like snow in December. I just put Christ in the center. Eat a big man like he played for the Wizards. Blessing on blessings. I got strength from my God, I no flex. God got me, do I look like I'm stressed? I ain't just slide from different directions. I guess the devil ain't getting the message. Are you wanted? I ain't got no preference. Guess they ain't know we protected. Blessed, I'm blessed though. You know that we telling her dread. You know that I could've been dead. But you ain't heard what I said. If it wasn't for blood that he shed, I could've had done as a bad. I could've been dead at the fence. I praise him for all that he did.
Lighting me up like he a bob, but making a path a little bit smaller. Look at my God, seeing the drive, taking the wheel like he a child. And lean on him, he gave me the ropes. Making the plays, he be the coach. Wisdom my guy, that gave me some.
All right, you guys, welcome back to the Stub Show. I hope that you enjoyed today's show as much as I did. I mean, just looking back over those wonderful clips of special guests that we had, it is an honor to be able to have people on to share their testimonies. Do you know how hard it is to just open up about your true life stories and allow people the ability to judge you? Yeah, because that's what you're doing when you share your testimony with the world. But guess what? You went through it for reasons outside of yourself, so why not share it so that you can encourage someone else? That's what our trials are for. We go through for other people. To get to the other side is a blessing, because when you get over there, you're rewarded. And somewhere down the line of your life, you will become a teacher when the student appears. So I hope that you guys learned a lot from today. You got some pointers, some tips. You are encouraged, and you are also ready to take your leap of faith and possibly come share your testimony here on the Stub Show and be my next guest. I am always looking for guests, so make sure you guys email me at thelofnetwork@gmail.com. I am also looking for new music, so if you have music videos on YouTube that you want to share with the world, make sure you shoot us that email or inbox us on whatever platform that you are on so that we can have your music played here on the show. Like I also said, there's space for advertisement. So if you would like to become a sponsor or just run your commercial through our upcoming shows, just let us know. But I thank you guys for joining me for another wonderful episode. I be getting tongue twisted sometimes. Like, look, or I be like, dang, why I didn't pronounce the N, the O, or this or that? Where's the T sound? Yeah, my tongue be doing its own thing. But yeah, I thank you guys for joining me for another episode on today. And I look forward to seeing you next week and the week after and the week after. And I also appreciate you guys for sharing and comment, liking, and whatever it is that you do throughout the week to support the Stub Show. I love you for it. I appreciate you for it. And I need you to keep doing it. So you guys have a wonderful day. Continue to be blessed. Continue to take those leaps of faith. Continue to get back up when you fall. Continue to know that you are amazing. And continue to look in that mirror and keep going day in and day out. As long as you have breath, you have another opportunity to try again. All right, you guys. I'll see you next week. Have a blessed day.
place in your heart, your mind, your body, your soul.